Good morning, technical course students. Today I would like to show you some practical applications on using DVOMs and test lights. I'd also like to talk to you about glow plugs, their function, how to test them, what can go wrong with them, what issues that you need to be aware of. On a DVOM, as prior videos have shown, the ohm meter is a self-powered test. So the component needs to be taken out of the 12-volt circuit or whatever volt circuit it's in and tested independently. So when we do a DVOM ohms meter reading on our glow plugs, we're looking for continuity. And continuity means that this is self-powered, so we're running a small electrical signal through here, going through the coils of the wiring, and then going to the ground of the engine block, grounded to the chassis of the vehicle. So what we're looking for on glow plugs is continuity, which would read an example of 6.8 ohms, and we're looking for uniformity, which is across the board, not having one that says ouch or outer limit or cat's eyes, meaning we were running electricity through here, we had an open in our electrical conductor, and now we did not get any readings. So we'll give some examples of those. Also on these glow plugs, what can happen is if they have been run too long, the ohms can change considerably by getting resistance in here. And resistance, I like to tell my students, is kind of like an infection in our body. Resistance would be the electrical signal going through here having some corrosion or some things that are making the resistance higher and harder to go through the electrical wire. And I have some examples of that. Another thing on glow plugs that you should be aware of is if they come on while the engine is operating going down the road, they can blister, which means they would balloon out here or a tip could even break off and drop into the combustion chamber. They're made out of stainless steel, so they're not going to be able to be retrieved with a magnet. We can also do a quick test when a vehicle comes in with a hard to start problem with using a test light to see if the bulb shines and how brightly it shines. A dim one would show it had high resistance in it. A bright shiny bulb that would go off on each one with the test light attached to the positive battery cable, the other end of the probe to the positive side of the glow plug. A bright light uniformly would show that the glow plugs are still effective and working. Glow plugs come on in the morning when the engine is cold. They also are activated while the engine is cranking over, and they're activated for a very short period of time when the engine starts first thing in the morning to minimize white smoke coming out. So this is basically some of the applications using your precision instruments and semi-precision instruments that you need to know on the DVOM. Specifically on the ohm scale, remove it from any kind of current.